The Thunder Bay ID Action Group is calling on the province to remove barriers to accessing a birth certificate. More than 1,000 people who might not otherwise have one were helped out during the course of a 3-year study, according to researchers from LU. The report was released today on International Identity Day. Lee Noonan has more.
Marshall Arbor is turning 70 this year, and he still doesn't have a correct birth certificate, but at least the one he has now spells his name right.
They got my name and everything, my birth date, it was all good, but now they got my mom's name wrong, right? But in order to change that, I have to get her birth certificate, which is impossible.
Arbor is a longtime volunteer with Norwest Community Health Centers. Staff there have been helping him sort out his birth certificate issues, but it's taken years to make any headway, and he says without them, he would have just given up.
Without a birth certificate, it's impossible to access a number of programs and services, including income maintenance, housing, even going to a food bank requires having ID. We're calling on the provincial government to waive the fees for birth certificates and to reduce the onerous paperwork requirements and the requirement for a professional guarantor for the birth certificate application.
Lakehead University has just released a report detailing the barriers people here face in trying to get Ontario birth certificates. Cost is the most commonly cited barrier, followed by the difficulty of the bureaucratic process.
Not everyone knows the name of the doctor that delivered them when they were born or knows how much they weighed. And those are just some of the things that people are expected to be able to provide in order to get their birth certificate.
Chris Sanders, one of the study's authors, says he was shocked by the scope of the problem.
We've submitted hundreds and hundreds of applications, and these are all people who, by and large, from what our research is finding, these are people who have tried multiple times to submit birth certificate applications and have often just sort of given up.
Their research also shows that the issue is a significant burden for local nonprofits who've banded together to form the ID Action Group of Thunder Bay.
This is above and beyond the scope of the services that we provide, like the mandate of our agencies, but we're trying to fill this gap by working cooperatively together because our clients do present with this as being one of the most significant barriers in order to get them to that next step of solving the actual problem that they're having that we can assist them with.
Arbor is now working with Norwest staff on getting his status card. The research shows the issue disproportionately affects Indigenous people, particularly when they live in rural or fly-in communities. Lee Noonan, TBT News.